Good afternoon and welcome once again to the Brno circuit here in the Czech Republic for race 2 in the Ferrari Challenge. About to get race 2 of the TropheoPirelli category of the Ferrari Challenge underway. There you can see track temperature 28 degrees, air temperature 17. Up until virtually this point, as the cars came to grid, it's been a super sunny day. But now it's really rather overcast once again. You can see we're at round 3 here at Brno with Portimao on the Algarve in Portugal still to come. So too Silverstone, Istanbul in Turkey, and the world final in Abu Dhabi right at the beginning of December. That is the calendar lineup for the Ferrari Challenge for 2014, and what a calendar it is too. Cars beginning to line up on the grid then. They've done their qualification this morning for this particular race, and it's a very, very interesting grid lineup once you take into account the success handicap that some drivers have to take. CorsicaInt.com is the website for all the information about the Ferrari Challenge and the TropheoPirelli category that we're talking about this afternoon in this race, split into 2 with pros and AM drivers. And well, when it comes to the pro category, Dario Carzo is at the top of the points by just 1 over Daniele D'Amato. And D'Amato starts on pole with Dario Carzo back there on the 3rd row of the grid. So it's going to be a very, very interesting start. 5.4 kilometre circuit. Alongside me, single-seater and GT racer and driver coach as well, Charlie Hollings. Good afternoon, welcome.
Yes, thank you. Exciting race ahead, I think. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
And now I mentioned there that Daniele D'Amato and Dario Carzo are going to be at it right from the beginning of this race, because in the pro category, just 1 point between them following yesterday's race. Now, D'Amato had a torrid time of it in the race yesterday. Subsequently, he takes his pole position today, as opposed to Dario Carzo, who's put back onto row 3 of the grid. But we saw yesterday Carzo charging through the pack.
Yeah, I think we could see certainly Carzo moving forward again, but D'Amato, I think if he can get a good start and get his head down in the first couple of laps, it's quite difficult to overtake round here. So, yeah, Carzo will certainly go forward, but whether D'Amato, yeah, he qualified 3rd on lap time this morning, or 2nd on lap time this morning, starts from pole, so I think he'll be hard to beat. There we see him on the grid there.
That is our pole sitter, Daniele D'Amato, of course, in previous seasons has raced alongside his father Renato, as well, getting some great shots from that helicopter, that's for sure. Been a lot of flying activity over the course. Here's the grid then. D'Amato, then Ezequiel Perez Companc, who incidentally leads the AM category points. He's P2 on the grid. Giacomo Strata, then Peter Vanco. Then we see Dario Carzo. Thomas Kukuka, who took a P3 yesterday. Then it's Alessandro Vezzoni and Florian Merckx, Oknai, Zarik, Thomas O'Rourke and Alex Martin down there, P12 on the grid. Alexis Di Bernardi is P13 with Jakovic, Moisev and Giannoni, who took P2 yesterday, is 16th on the grid with Jakovic, Socio Del Pret, Avogadri and Palcra, with Vadim Getlin, our race winner yesterday, right at the back of the pack for Kessel Racing.
Yeah, should make it interesting with Getlin right at the back. Yeah, wasn't that quick in this morning's qualifying, but certainly, yeah, showed he could lead and win the race comfortably yesterday when put at the front. So we should see him come through, I'm sure.
We both said off-air, Ezequiel Perez Companc here, nephew, of course, of Luis Perez Companc, who was on the podium in Le Mans just last weekend. Some real talent there, isn't there?
Yeah, no, he's flying and he's just getting quicker and quicker every weekend, but more so than his actual speed. I think he's learning more and he's learning racecraft with these guys at the front of the field. So I think we'll see him certainly by the end of the season win a race. Maybe, yeah, whether it'll come this afternoon, we'll see, but certainly he's on the front row, so he's got a good possibility. But yeah, certainly one to watch for the future.
Daniele D'Amato then, who's carrying one of our onboard cameras, some fantastic shots that we're able to bring you here, our production of the Ferrari Challenge races. There is a splitter cam from Dario Carzo, and that's the look back at the front row of the grid just momentarily. Florian Merckx then in the all-black machine is supported by some rather nice grid girls this afternoon. And, Brno here in the Czech Republic, we were here last year and we're delighted to be back again this year. And let's give you a few postcard images of this area of the Czech Republic. So just a few images of the Brno circuit and some of the things that have gone on in and around the paddock area as part of the Ferrari Challenge weekend here at Brno. As we look at car number 21, Giacomo Strata, keep fighting Michael. Well, of course, we saw some publication of relatively good news now that Michael is out of the coma and recuperating elsewhere away from hospital now. So, of course, our best wishes for continued recovery as we take a look at the highlights now from yesterday. So the audience get ready for race 2 in the TropheoPirelli category of the Ferrari Challenge. As we look at the man that we think will be trying to move forward, Dario Carzo. I had a brief conversation with him just before heading over to the comms booth, and it's always going to be a very brief conversation with Dario Carzo because he doesn't speak very many words of English, it has to be said. There is Alex Martin. And, race 2 is about to get underway. Now, we didn't see in the highlight images there of Philippe Baron up against the tyre wall towards the end of the race yesterday, where apparently he had monumental brake problems and side-swiped tyre barriers, which has actually bent the chassis, I think I'm right in saying, and that's why he's not out there on the grid.
Yes, I heard the same thing. I actually heard he had some ABS failure or something related, which sometimes with the Ferrari Challenge cars, if the car goes backwards or creates a little issue, and I know he went off at the start in the first.
That's right.
So there was talk that maybe as if the car was sliding or something, it's not the timing out, or something related, and so I heard it was ABS failure, but it's a shame he's not out for this race, but I know a lot of the guys now will be trying to capitalise on that with their point score. I'm sure Daniel D'Amato, for example.
Yes,
Carzo.
Well, I had a conversation with Philippe Baron this morning, and obviously he's bitterly disappointed, but he was quite philosophical and said, you know what, every season there's always going to be one which goes really, really wrong, and it's this one for me. So we will see. But what you're saying is the instant that we saw, first of all, where he took really avoiding action, didn't he, in race 1 yesterday to try and avoid the carnage, that could have done something which then caused the later problem.
Yes, that's what I heard mentioned down in the garage there, round and about the garages. So Yeah, so it's a shame for him. Like you say, there's always a bad weekend in a season or whatever, but hopefully he's got his bad luck out of the way and he'll be coming back fighting at the next round.
Well, we saw a banner there from the Tommaso Roca fan club, who are here in full effect as the cars get away now on their formation lap. With Daniel D'Amato, Ezequiel Perez Companc alongside, then it's Giacomo Strata and Peter Vanco. Strata, of course, involved in that incident that we did see in the highlights just a few moments ago. Then it's Dario Carso, Thomas Kukuka, and he got a P3 yesterday. Alessandro Vezzoni, Florian Merckx also involved in that sort of low-flying incident that we saw in the highlights. Oknai, then Zarek, Roca, Martin, Tipanadi, Jakubik, Moisev, Giannoni, Jakubik, Del Pret, Avogadri, Palkra, and yesterday's victor, Vadim Gitlin, right at the back of the pack. All the social media addresses and information up there on the screen for you. Do check it out, facebook.com/Ferrari, and of course CorsaClienti.com or CorsaClienti.Ferrari.com will take you to the specific Ferrari Challenge pages where you can find out all about the cars and the drivers that take part. Of course, it's an evolutionary car this year. It's the 458 once again, but with an Evo kit on it, which the most noticeable things for us, Charlie, are the rear wing and perhaps the front splitter as well. Made a big difference to the cars though, haven't they?
Yeah, now they've just created more downforce all round really for the cars with the, like you said, the rear wing and the front splitter. Yeah, just creates a little bit more drag in a straight line, so maybe a couple of kilometres down the straight, so a couple of miles per hour down the straight, but yeah, corner speed and braking stability has improved massively with the car. So
got the first opportunity to test the Evo version of the car at the Finale Mondiale right at the end of last year, where there were a couple of test days bolted on to the end of the Grand World Finals, if you like, from the Ferrari Challenge, and the cars are out there all on track now with those adjustments that have been made and additions that have brought out this Evo pack. And that's a great shot there of the rear wing, and that a great shot of our starter, who will be sending the cars away, subject of course to the race steward being happy with the grid formation as the safety car peels off and the cars turn the final turn, which is turn 15 before the lighting gantry. Now we see, Charlie, often, not seeing it in that shot, looking back from the Hublot safety car, everyone weaving from side to side, trying to get some temperature into the tyres and brakes and such like. Is it as important as it looks, or is it just psychological?
No, you definitely need to. Although one thing that is important is to warm up the brakes as much as the tyres. The brakes then generate temperature through the wheels of the car and through and into the tyres that way. So accelerating and braking can help as well as weaving. There's not quite as much weaving going on here because there's a lot of pickup off the racing line, which we chatted about a little bit yesterday. So I'd imagine a lot of the guys are trying to kind of stay on line a little bit there, but you can see a bit of movement around, but you can even see the bits of marbles there over on the right. But the track doesn't look too bad today, but you're trying to keep on the racing line as much as possible.
Alex Martin, one of the drivers, was saying to me yesterday that once you get a number of those marbles that actually adhere to the outer case of the tyre, really makes a difference to the handling of the car. It feels very loose and altogether different.
Yeah, and if you can suddenly try and overtake your move and you get the rubbish on your tyres, and it can take 2 or 3 corners to clean that up, or maybe even a lap or so. So we look like we're about to go. So
indeed, safety car will peel off. Race steward keeps his eye then on the grid formation as they'll head up to the gantry, and we hope the lights will go green. There they are. They're all red at the moment. This is race 2 for TropheoPirelli, about to get underway. And well, Daniel D'Amato had got a march on that start, that's for sure. They're the 2 back end there, but Daniel D'Amato having it all his own way. Ezequiel Perez Companc losing out straight away in turn 1.
Ooh.
And there Alexis Di Bernardi is out into the gravel there. There was a bit of a touch which sent him that way. Can he keep it out of the wall? He skirts around the outside. If he can keep the momentum, he'll come back onto the track, but he'll drag all that gravel back onto the track as well, Charlie.
Yeah, good start of the race there by the guys in the middle of the pack to avoid. I think there was actually a spinning car there as well, which created the car running wide. But it seems D'Amato got the good run, and obviously he's a pro, and some of the guys behind are the AM car, so they're maybe just slightly more cautious around him, and he's got a good jump, and everything seems to have settled down nicely at the end, coming towards the end of the first lap, so halfway through the first lap.
Dario Carzo did exactly as we suspected that he would. He moved up a place. He's now P4 behind Ezequiel Perez Compact. Then it is Daniel D'Amato that leads. In fairness now, just looking at the timing screen, which has done this as D'Amato, Perez Compact, Strata, Vanco, Carza. Of course, that was the way it started. There you can see the real deal. And there you can see Dario Carzo, who has moved up a place. So early stages of this race still on the first lap. And D'Amato leads from Strata, then Perez Compact and Dario Carzo. And it's Peter Vanco in P5. Here's a replay of the start. Let's see if we can pick up what happened here.
Yeah, so if we just watch the middle of the pack there, around the yellow car, here we go, we should have a good onboard shot here. So, oh, there's a touch there or something.
Yep, that was the spinning car. Di Bernardi just took evasive action, didn't he?
Yes, yeah, I think he actually did well to avoid any big
way.
incident there into the air course garage. So, yeah, watching on.
Here's race leader Daniel D'Amato then, who...
So Perez Compact there under pressure now.
Dario
Carzo on the move, so he's got his lights on flashing, and I think Perez Compact will give him space, yeah. So he's on the move now, is he, yeah.
Of course, Ezequiel Perez Compact really driving with his head there and not battling with Dario Carzo, because there's two championships going on here. There's the Pro and there's the AM as well. Ezequiel Perez Compact in the AM category, whereas Dario Carzo in the Pro. Actually, Ezequiel showing great maturity there and not battling too hard. There's no point.
Yeah, and I think now he's quite clever in his races this year to say his experience level, and I think he'll actually go with Carzo now, and hopefully as Carzo makes a move on Strata, that may open up the opportunity for him. So I think you'll just watch him go with Carzo now and see what develops there.
Also trying to move just at the back of the shot there was Alex Martin trying to get up the inside of Tommaso Roca. So there then is Dario Carzo, who, as we predicted, would be the man on the move. He's moved up 2 places since the start. He's now into P3 on track is Dario Carzo. There's Perez Compact, and they're lining up a little bit behind Perez Compact there. Dario Carzo clearly quicker. That's Alessandro Versoni in car number 27 that we saw just for a moment there. But Compact coming under some pressure from Peter Vanco now.
Yes, yeah, and just looking further back in that pack, interesting you mention Alex Martin as Carzo and D'Amato. Carzo was quickest in qualifying this morning, obviously now he's up to third, and D'Amato was second, but Alex Martin was actually third quickest in qualifying this morning. He's only moved back down to I think 12th or 13th on the grid due to success from yesterday, so you could see him, the guy coming through that pack, a little bit like we saw from Carzo yesterday.
So there is D'Amato then, who leads the race at the moment. Dario Carzo pushing hard as we expected him to do so. There is Alex Martin, who's tucked in there behind Tommaso Roca. Perez Compact now really, he's got them queuing up behind, hasn't he? Dario Carzo's flashing his lights like a good one, isn't he? Trying to get past Giacomo Strada, and I think he's done it here.
Done it straight. I think Strata's made that very easy for him there, actually. Yeah, a bit of the Pro and Am thing. This will be an interesting battle now at the front of the field. 2 pros, first and second now, D'Amato and Carzo. D'Amato, the kind of young charger, and Carzo, the old experienced hand. So it'll be interesting to see them now, 1-2 in the race. Yeah, go for it together.
Yes, they're going to, and just 1 point is the difference between them in the points championship at the moment, with Dario Carzo leading that by 1 point over Daniel D'Amato, who currently leads this race. So Ezequiel Perez Compact then is with Peter Vanco for company there, a big company right behind him. And behind Vanco is Kukuka. There you can see the battle for second position in graphics there on your screen. They're all AM drivers, but as you made the great point yesterday, Charlie, just by saying they're AM drivers, they're every bit as quick as the pros too, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're just they're not classified as pros because they're not effectively earning a living doing the job, but in the sport. But yeah, they're quick guys and they're more than capable of running at the front.
So the number 1 you saw on the graphics there with regards to Giacomo Strata is because he is the leading AM driver. At the moment, he's not leading the race. That's not what the number is for.
Here.
Yep, not close enough to be able to do it though. Quite was he? So that's Peter Vanco under pressure from Kukuka. Kukuka, of course, comes into this race on a bit of a confidence high, having taken that P3 podium yesterday.
Yes, yeah, drove really well yesterday. Yeah, really well, and he's actually looking in a forceful mood now, looking for opportunities. So, yeah, we might see him move forward.
What is interesting, and just saw the back end of his car go through shot there, is what a gap that Carzo has built up over Giacomo Strata already. You can see it there. So he's going to be on the back of Daniel D'Amato. Just having a look at the last lap times as they crossed the start-finish line. Carzo was some 5/10 quicker.
Yeah, half a second a lap taken out soon. So it'll soon be be race on in 2 or 3 laps. He's got 2.1 second gap at the moment, so 3 or 4 laps and he'll be close.
Contact there between Socio Del Pret and Josef Jakobik, and almost 3 abreast with Zarek getting into the mix as well there, seeing that in replay.
Alex Martin there again in the nicely Dextra lighting liveried car, but not just being able to find a way past to move forward at the moment.
Yeah, he needs to get past Tommaso Roca, who is the guy that's currently P10. Alex Martin is currently P11. That's Ezequiel Perez Companc, who's P4 at the moment. And this is the charge that Dario Carzo is making on our race leader, Daniel D'Amato. So battle for P1 in the AM category is between Giacomo Strata and Ezequiel Perez Companc. And we go on board with the Motor Piacenza driver, the AF Corsa run Ezequiel Perez Companc there. Brilliant onboard shot that we're able to bring you there. Now, of course, right behind him, he has got another AM driver, and that is Peter Vanco. So he's very aware and conscious of that, but equally he wants to get on terms, if he can, with Giacomo Strata as well.
Yeah, he just, Perez Companc just doesn't look quite as kind of fired up today as he maybe was in some of the other races we've seen him. He started on the front row and he's just been pushed back a little bit, and he seems to just be on the defensive a little bit. So yeah, let's see how he gets on in the latter half of the race. But Carzo's definitely taking time out of D'Amato now. It's whether he's certainly driving hard, and it's whether he takes too much out of his tyres in this first kind of 15 minutes of the race, and that could hinder him later on when he does get up behind D'Amato.
We certainly saw that, didn't we, yesterday, where those that had really charged hard, and Dario Carzo was one of those that, you know, he is a very, very forceful, hard-charging, aggressive racer who absolutely wrings the proverbial neck out of that 458 that he drives, but he did pay the price towards the end as Alex Martin, at last now, does manage to get past that Tommaso Roca car ahead of him. But boy, it's close, and Roca fights back there just for a moment, but I think Alex has got that done. It's probably taken him a lap or 2 longer than he would have liked.
Yeah, he just got kind of stuck in that rhythm, but he's been sensible there, made the move when he can. It's actually interesting now. Alex is only behind Oknaj and for third in the pro class, and the leading 2 are obviously 1 and 2 on the road. So I know, chatting to Alex before the race, he knows that it would be hard to get up to the kind of leading 2 from where he was starting, but if he can get third in the pro class, that'd be good for him. So he's right behind now, so it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
This is Ezequiel Perez Companc then under real pressure from Peter Vanco in replay that we can see here. Perez Companc doing everything he can to make that 458 as wide as possible and make it very, very hard for the Team Dino driver, Peter Vanco, to get past. And there is Vanco. There's Giacomo Strata, and in fairness, Giacomo Strata looks like he's lost just a little bit of time, because Perez Companc is closer to him now than he has been over the last couple of laps.
Yes, yeah, Perez Companc, just that whole bunch just seems very evenly matched, to be honest, and just if someone breaks a little late or makes a small mistake, or he seems to swing back in the favour of the car in front or behind. But yeah, I think this whole bunch there are very evenly matched, to be honest.
Well, last time around, another 3/10 was taken out of D'Amato's lead by Dario Carzo, as we keep our eye on what's happening on the timing screen right at the front of this race as well. But this, by far and away, the most exciting battle at the moment on the road. It is the battle for P3, but of course it is the battle for the 1, 2, 3 in the AM category, and currently second in the AM category is the black and blue car that you can see there of Ezequiel Perez Companc. He's actually P4 on the road, but there you can see Giacomo Strata P3 and Perez Companc there, well, marginally quicker.
Yeah, all very close. all very close, and there's very little in it in the times. It's interesting now, the leading 2 cars, again, Carzo's just taken another 5 tenths, nearly 4 or 5 tenths out of D'Amato on that previous lap, but the leading 2 cars are nearly a second a lap quicker than, well, over a second a lap quicker than third onwards. So yeah, those two are disappearing up the road now, so that should be a good battle to the end. There you go, you can see Carzo's really kind of just about latching on the back now of D'Amato.
So what, at this point, Charlie, what will the team be telling these 2 drivers? I mean, for Carzo, it will be just attack, won't it? But D'Amato will know he's coming, won't he?
Yeah, D'Amato will be looking in his mirrors and he'll know he's there. But I think round here it is hard to overtake. So as long as he can be neat and tidy and not make big mistakes. Yeah, you were just looking there, Carzo on the exit curb, and
neat and tidy, not necessarily 2 words that we would often associate with Dario Carzo, who, as I said in comms yesterday, if anyone is going to take an unorthodox line and somehow make it work, Dario Carzo is the man to do it. And just look, it's palpable now, isn't it, the gap coming down?
Yes, yeah, and he'll certainly, without a doubt, have a go. Whether he can have a go at passing when he gets close enough, but whether he can do it or not is another question. But I think, D'Amato, as long as he's neat and tidy, the lap time, when the car tends to get closer, it kind of settles into there. See Carzo again, just the rear of the car sliding, bit of oversteer there, but I'm sure from watching him yesterday, he'll arrive at D'Amato and attack straight away.
Oh, you're right.
He won't settle into a rhythm of sitting there for 3 or 4 laps and then making a move. He'll go straight away.
Right. So that is the man that's hounding now and chasing Daniel D'Amato. And what it will be interesting, it will be interesting to see the psychology battle, whether Daniel D'Amato now, knowing that his rear view mirror is full of that Dario Carzo car, whether he will feel more pressured now and begin to just become a little bit wayward.
Yeah, useful information by the mechanic there, waving him on for the pit lane. I'm sure he was taking it easy till that point, and then realised that's probably annoyed him more than anything. but no, his head will be down now. And D'Amato's just not got to make mistakes. That would be my main point. Is just be clean and not make mistakes, and it'll be hard for Carzo to overtake then.
Well, another 5 tenths in the last lap, a 2:06.687 from Dario Carzo, a 2:07.183 from Daniel D'Amato. So the pressure is going to be on, but the pressure is on now, Giacomo Strata as well, because this bunch of cars that stacked up behind that Giacomo Strata car, including Ezequiel Perez Compact, who just took a look up the inside. I don't think he was anything like close enough to be able to make a move there. But what it might have done, of course, is just unsettled Giacomo Strata a little bit more.
Yeah, Strata just seems to be slowing a little bit now, as in struggling for pace. And just looking at the timing, we're about halfway through the race now, and the tyres will start to go off. And at this point, this is when cars in the Ferrari Challenge, cars seem to come to a driver or disappear away and fall away. And it might just be that Strata is going to struggle this second half of the race.
Now this is the one that's really going to liven up, we think, for the second half of this race. Dario Carzo, as the front brake discs there light up as the brakes are put under the most maximum pressure that Dario Carzo can press upon the pedal to try and scrub off enough speed to take the corner quickly and cleanly. And you can see just what a gap those two have left in their wake before we get back to P3 and beyond. So now the race is on. What can Dario Carzo do? Dario Carzo, we go on board with him, this splitter cam then. He leads the points.
Deep.
He was a bit deep there, wasn't he?
Arrived in there a little bit quick, but it's kept it together actually coming onto the pit straight, but not close enough to make a move down into turn 1 this lap.
Well, going into this race, he leads the points by 1 point over the man that's ahead of him at the moment, Daniel D'Amato. The young star that is Daniel D'Amato, and the slightly older but no less aggressive and racy Dario Carzo in car number 8. We have really seen Dario Carzo really up his game in terms of driving and racing performance over the last couple of seasons. Some great drives from Dario Carzo, and this might be one of them today.
Yeah, impressive speed by him. Here we go. This is when this pack starts to get a bit more interesting now, because as you see Strata just defend a little bit, obviously slows everyone into the other car, and it backs everybody up. So Perez Compact's really close there for the lead of the AM category now. So he's kind of, and you can see him moving around. It wouldn't surprise me if he pops his lights on in a lap or two, just to kind of do anything he can to unsettle Strata. But Strata's been around now for a few years, and yeah, he won't be too worried at the moment, but yeah, it's close to see there. But just looking kind of, you can just see the car behaviour a little bit of Stratas now, just moving around a little bit more. He's just missing his apexes a little bit, just not quite. There you go again.
Back end
just,
step down
yeah,
there, didn't
just
it?
not quite as comfortable, and so he'll be starting to feel the heat in the car now, feeling the pressure.
Right, now, talking of pressure, let's sit on that splitter cam and very nearly nerf the back end of Daniel D'Amato's car from Dario Carzo there. Absolutely brilliant shots that we're able to bring you. This is going to be so exciting. We've got 13.5 minutes left to run in this race, and the race isn't over by a long shot yet, because it doesn't matter if Dario Carzo was running on the rims with no rubber left, he'd still try and overtake. They are as close as they've been. It's now whether Daniel D'Amato can hold his nerve.
Yeah, I think you'll see D'Amato now, he'll slow it at the apexes, just nearly creating Carzo that feeling where he's going to run in the back of him and then just get on the power and go. And then just that kind of, just tactical kind of defensive driving where he's just slowing him down enough in the apex and get out of the corner well. But yeah, Carzo's not going to let this one go. He's certainly not going to settle for second.
So some of the debris being kicked up by Dario Carzo's car then, as has been said earlier, lots and lots of sort of marbles and debris off of line, and of course Carzo's going to have to go off of line to make a move count here. But he's as close can be now to the man ahead, Daniel D'Amato. As you say there, D'Amato's just missing apexes, isn't he? And he's being harried a bit.
Yeah, again, these cars will be moving around now. We're well into this second half of the race, and you can see both cars are moving around, but yeah, D'Amato's not comfortable there, is he, at all? He's not, yeah, you can tell he's feeling the pressure, I think. There we go, Carzo, again, just moving around a little bit, showing his nose, and nice big slide from Carzo on the way out there, but keeping the momentum going forward, so not losing any time.
So Dario Carzo it is that's second at the moment, but you have a feeling that it's going to be when, not if.
Straight into defensive mode there for D'Amato then. There we go. Carzo, I think, is going to go. No.
Well, to be fair, D'Amato is making that 458 as wide as it can.
They're just slowing the car at the apex and then trying to go again on the exit. Carzo just a little bit wiser to that though, and still kind of got the car rotated round and got out of the corner well. So see, Carzo's hooked him well there. He's again, D'Amato gets a good exit out, and then I'd say just leaves a little bit too much to do for the final corner.
Well, this is going to rage and rage. Brakes scream in protest, the big uphill section now as D'Amato through the S's and Carzo following him every way. Over the start-finish line they come right now. It was a 208.454 from D'Amato, a 208.469 from Dario Carzo, matching every single step of the way. And there you can see a little bit of understeer there from the D'Amato car.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, you can see he's kind of fighting it a little bit more now, and just looking at the timing screens as well, the guys, the leading AM cars now are actually matching the pace or even a fraction quicker than the leaders, so these guys have suddenly lost nearly a second a lap with just this little bit of defensive defensive driving by D'Amato just to slow everything down. So surprising how quickly the lap time drops away.
So this is our helicopter shot that we're able to bring you then in the Ferrari Challenge. And we cross back now, though, to the battle right at the front of the pack. As Dario Carzo just seems to have eased off a little bit now, and he'll probably be trying to lull Daniel D'Amato into a false sense of security, and then like a viper will pounce just when Daniel is not expecting it. Might be talking utter rubbish, of course, because all he wants to do is get past that orange car that's ahead of him, and he will do everything that he possibly can to do that. Just see from the window of our comms booth here on the start-finish straight, the retirement looked like of Dusan Palkra, who was back there in P20, has pulled into the pit lane. Whilst all this is going on, Alex Martin still hasn't found a way past Oknai yet, which he needs to do. There's car number 93, and Sarek battling with Lubomir Jakubik, but this is the biggest and most exciting battle at the moment, as we've got less than 10 minutes left to run in this race. Daniel D'Amato still leads, 2 pro drivers together here, and then the rest of the pack here.
Yeah, good battle there actually for the lead of Am as well. So Perez Compact again is certainly quicker. Yeah, and Strata's definitely the cork in the bottle in that little chain, but Strata does seem to be just doing enough to be slightly more comfortable at the front of that. He's not under massive pressure there, hasn't had to go into the kind of big defensive driving, which is good for him.
It's taken Alex Martin a bit of a time to get on the back of this pack as well, isn't it? Bearing in mind that the man that's ahead of him, Oknai in car number 37, another all-yellow car, is ahead of him in the pro category, and that's the car he desperately needs to get. And you can see there from our heli shot, or you could, just the big gap between Oknai and Alex Martin.
Yeah, I think certainly, obviously, the leading 2 have broken away, and this next pack are all probably dragging each other along a little bit. But Alex is matching them on lap times, but just not quite doing enough to kind of make a big impression to pull in that following bunch.
So the order on track is D'Amato, who we're on board with, then it's Dario Carzo P2, as Carzo once again takes another look at Daniel D'Amato. Then it's Giacomo Strata is P3, then it's Perez Compact, Vanco, Kukuka, Vetsoni, Merckx, Oknai, then Alex Martin is P10.
Here we go. I think D'Amato just gone a little bit deep into the first chicane. He seems to be struggling with understeer there. You can nearly see the tyres working too hard on the mid corner to exit the mid to exit the corner. So here we go. Is this it by Carzo? No. He's just. I think he knows that there's enough time still to just force D'Amato into a mistake rather than make a kind of unnecessary risky move. So here we go. No, I thought he was going for a look there again, but he's really trying to create a mistake by D'Amato now, just kind of moving around and unsettling them as much as possible.
When you've got this in your rear view mirror, Charlie, you know, it must really affect you as a driver, because of course you're trying to focus on absolutely nailing every single part of the racing circuit, knowing that your rear view mirror is full of the car that's trying to depose you from that point.
Yes, yeah, and certainly circuits like this, especially exit speed's important, but when there's a car there right behind you with its lights on, moving around, you may force yourself into braking a little bit later, and actually you then lose a little bit of exit speed, so then you're under pressure into the next braking zone, and so you tend to kind of overdrive more than anything if you're not relaxed in this situation. You've nearly just got to get on with your own thing. But D'Amato hasn't made any big mistakes when we say about him moving around a bit more. He's still done everything he needed to and has needed to so far, and there's not enough of an opportunity for Carzo to overtake. There you go again, D'Amato just wide there, but actually has got out of the corner quite well there.
Yeah, he has, and in fairness, Carzo wasn't close enough to be able to take advantage of that slide, was he? Because I think both of these drivers now, having driven as hard as they've driven now, what have we got? Probably two laps plus the one they're on, maybe 3. Tyres have really been pushed hard, haven't they? And they'll be feeling these cars will be behaving very differently now.
Yes, yeah, and they'll be moving around a lot. It was actually quite cool when we were out on track yesterday. This morning and yesterday ended up quite cool. But it's warmed up quite a lot now, and you can see the cars are moving around, and they've had a hard push for 25 minutes so far. So yeah, they'll be well worked.
Split again, back again with Dario Carzo then, as we get right on the back end of Daniel D'Amato. As Charlie has said, D'Amato doing everything he can to defend us. Carzo now takes a look alongside. D'Amato, he just entries that corner perfectly, and D'Amato under huge pressure here from Dario Carzo. I have to say, really impressed with him, because he's not made a huge mistake.
Yeah, and it's interesting, both of the guys are battling for the championship, and you can tell they're both desperate to win the race. D'Amato's not going to give it away at all, and Carzo's going to go for any opportunity he gets, but at the same time they can't afford to give away a first or a second in class. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I still think Carzo, based on the way he's been racing over the weekend, I think he'll have a go over these last 2 or 3 laps.
Well, it was interesting to get our heli shot on those two just a few moments ago. Absolutely driving around here like demons they are. Last lap round 208.324 for D'Amato, 208.416 for Dario Carzo. Absolutely negligible difference between the two here. But Carzo is desperately trying to unsettle Daniel D'Amato. D'Amato, to be fair to him, to give him his credit, has not. Oh, as he gets a bit sideways again. He's having to use more opposite lock than he would like to around a lap here, but Carzo's just not close enough to be able to take advantage of those slides that D'Amato is having to control.
Yeah, and what D'Amato's getting away with in the middle of the corner, when the car slides, he still gets it turned enough and slowed enough, and then he gets the car rotating, he still gets on the power well. So although his mid-corner speed isn't great because he's struggling for whatever reason, he gets out of the corner well, so it just doesn't create an opportunity for Carzo to overtake.
I'll tell you what is absolutely, I'm full of admiration for both of these drivers. As close as they've been, lap after lap after lap, there's been absolutely no contact between them, has there?
As you say, that was a
was it?
Yes, yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can see Carzo's right on the limit of touching him, but obviously not, and that's nice to see.
3 minutes are left to run in this, the second of the TropheoPirelli races from the Ferrari Challenge. And Dario Carzo and Daniel D'Amato have been fighting tooth and nail for the last goodness knows how many laps. But D'Amato, despite the huge pressure from Dario Carzo, has not yielded. He's not made a mistake. Carzo has not been able to make a move on him. The tyres must be just about shot, I would think, with 2.5 minutes left to run. Charlie Hollings, boy, they're driving well considering, aren't they?
Yeah, and you can really see D'Amato now. He's just driving in his mirrors. I think he's he's got one eye on Carzo every corner and every entry, every apex and every exit. He's watching everything there. Nice helicopter cam shot just down the pit straight. There you go, on the defensive again.
Well, looking at the lap times and looking at our timing screen, Charlie, I would say we've got 2 laps left to run in this race. That's all, because there is 2 minutes on the clock now, and in these 2 minutes, is Dario Carzo going to do, well, what more can he throw at this than he's already thrown at it?
Spinning car there, who...
just trying to pick up who that was.
Gadri.
Yeah, I think it could have been...
48 car.
Gadri that went round. So we've followed this for the last, I don't know how many laps. And still...
You'll see D'Amato now just slow it enough at the apex to get out well.
See, Dario's car is suffering as much as D'Amato's, isn't it? He's having to, he's having to control slides as well. And of course, if anything, it's going to affect Carzo more because he's the one that's fighting.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you can see they're both working hard, and both working hard. And one lap, one guy seems quicker than one lap the next. But certainly, we noticed all weekend Carzo turns to a lot of corners, turns in fairly early, so he kind of gets his nose in there. Where D'Amato's a little bit later, and on his turn-in, but gets out of the corner well. So yeah, we'll see. Again, that's one more overtaking opportunity down into the hairpin that's kind of gone. So another lap out of the way where D'Amato seems safe.
There then is car number 37, Oknai, who Alex Martin's been trying to get on terms with, and he's not been able to do that. And you can see there the 2 yellow cars. Well, you can only see one of the 2 yellow cars, and that's the one from Oknai. Giacomo Strata still not been overtaken by Ezequiel Perez Compact. You can see the battle for the AM category. That's what we're watching right now.
Just looking back down the timing screens, Gitlin, our race winner from yesterday, has actually moved from 21st to 15th, but he's lapping the same speed as the leaders, actually a couple of tenths faster than the leaders, but he's still down there in 15th, so it just shows how competitive and evenly matched right through the field all these guys are.
Clock's at 0. This has got to be the final lap. Yes, it is, up there on the top left-hand corner of your screen. Right, it's now or never for Dario Carzo. Daniel D'Amato has done a fantastic job in holding off this charge from Dario Carzo. The young superstar who leads this race is Daniel D'Amato, of course, used to be teamed up with his father Renato. We've almost inclined to say we've seen a different driver since he's been out on his own. Daniel D'Amato here, and he leads Dario Carzo at the moment. Now, bear in mind, in the pro category of the championship, P2 on the road at the moment leads the championship by 1 point over the guy that's P1. So, Dario Carzo doing everything he can, but I really rather think that he's done everything he can, and now he's just going to have to accept P2.
Yeah, I think the only way we're going to see a move being made, and I hope it doesn't happen, saying that he's got close there, hasn't he? I hope it doesn't happen, but I think if there's a move going to be made, it's going to involve a bit of contact there.
Strata's gone! That's Giacomo Strata!
And that was a the battle for the lead in the AM category, 3rd overall. Here we go, yeah. So he's got out of the corner. Well, this is where Carzo's been having a look for the last couple of laps. No. So I think that could, as long as D'Amato gets out of the chicane here well, which he's got out okay, but certainly not a big gap. But I think he's maybe got enough of a buffer going into the final couple of corners to do it. Is Carzo going to have a go? No.
Oh, they are so close. Daniel D'Amato and Dario Carzo, they've been fighting like this for the last, I don't know how many laps. I should think Daniel D'Amato will be a sense of relief that he sees that checkered flag, and he takes the win from Dario Carzo, P2, as our heli picks them as they go across the start-finish line. Next is going to be Ezequiel Perez Compact, isn't it? Because we saw Giacomo Strata out. Where did Strata get back in? Because he was certainly getting back onto track. There he is behind Alex Martin. So he's gone from, well, he's across the line P10.
So he's going to be 6th or 7th in class. So it would have been nice to have seen actually the Perez Compact Strata incident at the end. The leaders, the race was so exciting at the front that there was another exciting move for the overall, but for the podium and for there we go. So Perez Compact, definitely a little bit of contact there, but yeah, let's see if he gets away with that in the stewards room. It's hard to make any comment just from that shot.
Well, I have to say, credit to these two drivers, Charlie. I mean, lap after lap after lap, the pressure has been relentless, and with the exception of one little bit, virtually no contact between them.
Yeah, they both Carzo gave just enough room, and D'Amato drove extremely well, never made any big mistakes. A couple of apexes just missed and things like that, but perfect driving by them both, and it's good that it's ended that way rather than some contact or something that
which I did wonder whether that would happen, but well, Dario Carzo did through virtually everything that he could at it, but couldn't find a way past Daniel D'Amato, and credit to Daniel D'Amato, who didn't fall under the immense pressure that he was under in the last 15 minutes of that race. So, right, D'Amato, Carzo, Perez Compact, the 1, 2, 3, unless something is brought to bear because of that, and we can't quite see the start of that move, can we?
No, it's hard to make a judgment because you just see them coming into sight there, obviously, and it's been a bit of contact, but let's see. I don't think Perez Compact is normally a kind of dirty driver or anything like that, so I would imagine he'd only do something if he thought there was a genuine opportunity to do it, but I'm sure there'll be a few daggers down the pit lane at each other when they come into the collecting area.
Okay, so in the pro category, it's D'Amato, Carzo, and then it's Oknai taking P3. In the AM category, effectively Perez Compact, Kukuka, and Vetsoni. So Kukuka having a great weekend, taking P3 yesterday. The race overall, it's D'Amato, Carzo, and Ezequiel Perez Compact actually on track. But as I say, in the pro category, D'Amato, Carzo, Oknai, and then Perez Compact, Kukuka, and Alessandro Vetsoni in the AM category. So podiums to come, but there is our pro winner, Daniel D'Amato from Motor Piacenza, the AF Corsa run team. He's a lovely lad, is Daniel, to be fair.
Yes, really nice, good to chat to, and it's nice to see he's mature enough now. He's still only a young driver. I'm not sure exactly his age, but he's still only a young guy, but he's mature enough to lead from the front and even under pressure not make mistakes and or anything like that. So here we go, Perez Compact car coming in the collecting area, podium area. So we'll see if there's any comments made or anything we can see from our camera views.
So Dario Carzo being congratulated, he's out of the car. This is Alessandro Vezzoni. He's out of the car as well, and congratulated by his team members, of course, from Rosso Corsa Pellin Racing. All the cars being ushered in. Dario Carzo just removing the crash helmet and the hands device, and here comes our race winner, Daniel D'Amato.
D'Amato also seems to always have a little fan club with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be over the moon with that. And there you go. So his engineer there, team manager.
There's his father, Renato, straight in there.
Yeah, well-deserved win there. There you go, and Ezequiel.
Ezequiel Perez Compact then removing the crash helmet and hands device. Let's take a look at the highlights right now. As the crowd waited for race 2 of the TropheoPirelli category of the Ferrari Challenge to get underway, they didn't have to wait for long as the lights went green, and Daniel D'Amato did everything he needed to do to convert his pole position into the race lead. The man that was going to be on the charge was always going to be Dario Carzo. He was the one that is fighting. And talking of fighting, Alexis Di Bernardi gets just a little bit of a touch there and dives out onto the gravel, manages to keep the car out of the wall, and as you can see there, drives it all the way around the wall. Unfortunately, dragging a load of gravel back onto the circuit as well, but at least he kept it out of the wall. There we can see it in replay. There was just a little touch, and that was enough to send Alexis Di Bernardi out into the rough stuff. At the front, Carzo soon swept those ahead of him by the side, and it was going to be Carzo chasing D'Amato. It was also Ezequiel Perez Compact chasing Giacomo Strata in the AM category, but this pro category battle inevitably was going to run all the way to the checkers. Daniel D'Amato leads, as we can see from the splitter cam on board Dario Carzo. Then the helicopter shot reveals just how close they are as they cross the start-finish line once again. Car number 37, driven by Oknai, but this was the battle that we were all talking about. But Daniel D'Amato had done enough, and he took the win, despite the challenge from Dario Carzo. So we'll be heading up to the podium, but there we can see the confirmation of the results. D'Amato, Carzo, Oknai taking the 1, 2, 3 in the pros, and Perez Compact, Kukuka and Vezzoni taking the 1, 2, 3 in the AM category. So big weekend for Moto Piacenza, top step of the podium.
Yeah,
in
they'll
both
be
categories.
Yeah, they'll be pleased with. Yeah, very pleased with the weekend. So yeah, they've got some shell races to go later in the day, so they'll be hoping for the same there.
Okay, we're going to head up to the podium right now. Well, the drivers will be heading up to the podium in just a couple of moments' time. We do 2 podium ceremonies, one for the pro category, one for the AM category as well. And there you can see the race 2 classification. Then D'Amato, Carzo, Oknai and Alex Martin, the 1, 2, 3, 4 in pro. And from our vantage point up high in one of the grandstands here at the Brno circuit in the Czech Republic, we can see the drivers will be flanked by 2 Czech Republic lovelies up on the podium in just a couple of moments. There's the classification for the AM, which is Perez Compact, Kukuka, Vezzoni, the 1, 2, 3 with Vanko Merck Strata, managing to get P6, Roka, Zarek, Giannoni, and Lubomir Jakubik.
Yeah, I think Perez Compact again will be really, really over the moon with that. Although, yeah, knowing again how he is around and about the garage, he won't like the fact that it's had contact at the end. You know, it'd be quite, you know, I think he likes to race clean and enjoys racing, and he won't want any bad blood between other guys down the field. You can just see him there actually chatting about probably the move that was being made, and I hope he's not to blame, and I hope it's not something that goes through the steward's office.
Well, by virtue of the fact, I mean, the stewards have got access to all the cameras that we have access to, and you would think, Charlie, that if there was any doubt there, they might have just held on to the result for a little while longer, mightn't they? Because they had time. There's Dario Carzo then, who always looks the same. Doesn't matter whether he's just in a race car, just out of a race car, always looks the same. Okay, let's go down to the podium area now.
Siamo qui con Daniele Diamato, vincitore di un'incredibile gara nella categoria Pro, gara 2 qui a Brno. Beautiful race, fast and lap, how do you feel?
It's the best race of my life. The Caso was very fast, and I was strong, and I'm very proud to be part of Motor Piacenza and F Corse, and I'm very happy.
Thank you so much, Daniele.
Interestingly, Daniel Diamato, thanks Alessandro, incidentally, Daniel Diamato, significantly younger than Dario Carzo, looked physically more, and I know how fit Daniel Diamato is. He trains, he takes this very, very seriously, as opposed to Dario Carzo, who doesn't look like he does, to be fair, but he looked more physically challenged than Carzo did.
Yeah, you can just see it's probably, obviously they're going around at the same speed and the fitness is probably higher on Daniel Diamato, but when you start defending, you kind of, your whole body tenses up a little bit and you're just working harder in the car to hold your position. So he's obviously, worked hard for his win there.
Okay, so podium about to get underway then, and Oknai then going to take, so we're going to do the AM category podium. Of course we're not, we're doing the Pro category first. Oknai taking P3 in the Pro category. Dario Carzo taking P2 and Daniel Diamato taking the win. He's delighted with that win as well. To be fair, he said it's the best race he's had in his life.
Yeah, so he obviously means a lot to him. I know there's a bit of adrenaline when you first get out of the car, but he, there you go, his engineer just stood up there and he'll be pleased with that as well.
So Daniel Diamato, top step of the podium, Dario Carzo and Oknai then. The 1, 2, 3 in the Pro category of the Ferrari Challenge TropheoPirelli races. Okay, presentations to go now. Trophies being dished out, first of all to Oknai P3, Dario Carzo P2, Andrea Reggiani, the head of Ferrari Corsa Clienti, making those trophy presentations, and Daniel Diamato taking the win, and he's delighted with that. And the Motor Piacenza team taking...
One thing for these, certainly Carzo and Diamato having, both finishing first and second, with Philippe Baron not taking part. That's important for them two now to just step ahead of him in the championship. So they'll have had that in the back of the mind as well, I'm sure.
Well, up next it will be very hot and humid where they're going. It's the Algarve circuit at Portimao in Portugal. The next round of the Ferrari Challenge to come, where you would like to think that it would be in favour of those young chargers like Daniel Diamato and Philippe Baron.
Yes, technical circuit, and so here we go with
Carzo takes no prisoners. Let's go back down to Alessandro now.
Thomas Kukuczka, vincitore della gara 2 nel TropheoPirelli AM. Thomas Kukuczka, how do you feel? Unexpected, really, winner.
Yeah, we were fighting all the time, but 6 minutes before end I was on the 4th place. Then I passed Wanko, so I went through, and then we were like, if there was a Jag, there was Perez behind him, I was 3rd, we were fighting all the time. Then they hit together, Strata came out, and Perez was coming, and then we were fighting, and now it's victory for me, that's unacceptable.
It's your first victory of this season.
Yeah, yesterday I was third, and this is first victory in Ferrari Challenge ever for me. I never been first, so I'm really happy. It's our home track. I'm come from here, so I'm really like.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Thank you.
So,
Grazie.
hot off the press then, with Kukuka being awarded the victory there, that means Ezequiel Perez Compact has been taken out.
Yeah, that's a shame for him. Obviously, like we've said, we haven't really seen the incident fully to know. Certainly there was some contact, but yeah, it's a shame really, because it looked like they'd raced well throughout the race before that with no contact. So for it to be on the last lap,
Great
yeah, it's a shame.
Well, we're not going to see necessarily all of this podium because we're going to run out of time. Such has been the fraught nature of this TropheoPirelli race. But Thomas Kukuka taking the win, that's what we can tell you as we close. And the handshakes there, national anthem. So national anthem playing out for Thomas Kukuka, who has been elevated to the win. So it's Kukuka, Bezzoni and Vanco aboard the podium. So once again, trophies being presented. This is the AM category of the Ferrari Challenge, TropheoPirelli. Once again, the head of Corsa Clienti is making the trophy presentations. Thomas Kukuka then taking the win. So there we have it then, the AM podium, which we didn't think we were going to get necessarily to see the whole lot of because of broadcast time constraints that we have. But thankfully we have seen both the Pro and the AM podiums. And at this point, I'd like to pass on my big thanks to Charlie Hollings for being part of the commentary team across the Ferrari Challenge. And Copa Shell race to come next. Failing that, we'll see you in Portugal. Bye-bye for now.
Yeah.